satellites would be in orbit.
The satellites, yeah, they run for a while. And they're pretty much autonomous. Like you can send them messages and have them do stuff, but more or less they'll just kind of spin around.
So these still have to have a charge somehow.
The phone would, yeah.
So maybe you have a solar powered charger for your sat phone.
Look, he's the smart guy.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, the professor on Gilligan's Island can make a
radio
sat
with a
phone
coconut.
out of a coconut.
Yeah. And yeah, they're still trapped on the island with Gilligan.
So yeah, okay. So this is interesting.
Was
I'll try not to make this too much of a sidetrack. But where's all the generators? I figured there'd be a lot more generators.
Yeah,
but I don't think I've seen one. Or very few, maybe
in the comics. Maybe
at Burberry or Maryberry.
They make a pretty big deal out of the prisoner having a generator.
Yeah,
but the comics are more focused on the details of survival, and the show is a little more. Let's focus on the emotional stuff.
Yeah,
so they don't.
Oh.
So there's generators somewhere that they're using that we don't get to see. So we're going to say that.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Yeah, because they seem to have plenty of gas.
That all those cars. Remember a million cars, right?
You can shoot them up, apparently.
Obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens.
The people it kills get up and kill.
Are they slow moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
This is a Walking Dead Cast news update.
All right, so Robert Kirkman is producing a movie. He's doing everything: comics, movies.
Yeah.
He has a hot dog stand. I heard. It's called
an Etsy store.
Yeah, totally. They have like Walking Dead slot machines, Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Is there a
pajamas?
Is there a pinball?
There is. Yes, there's a pinball. Yes,
I've been getting into pinball recently. I'd love to see that.
Lots of moaning and groaning.
You need to go to the pinball museum.
So this, oh yeah, dude, you got to check that out.
For real?
Museum
awesome.
with like all these pinballs from the different ages,
Pacific
all the way
Pinball
back
Museum.
to the very beginning of pinball.
So I used to go to the pinball guy in Berkeley.
Pinball guy? Oh, that's a pinball place.
No, it's a guy who's I can't tell you anything about it on the air.
Oh, interesting.
He's like this secret guy. In fact, I shouldn't even said the city, but
that's hilarious.
Yeah, he's this guy that's got a bunch of pinball in his basement, and then on this special night, he'll turn a light on in front of the house, the purple light. If you see the purple light on, it's free pinball all night.
Oh, what were you smoking before this? You saw this? No, I'm just
the usual rock. No,
that's interesting.
Yeah, it is. He got written up in Grand Royale magazine, the Beastie Boys magazine, even.
Oh yeah, I think you were telling me about that.
Huh.
But let's save that for the pinball podcast.
Bang, 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 bang.
And move on to ding, ding. It's called Air, this movie. It's a sci-fi thriller. It's low budget. It stars Norman Reedus. You may have heard of him.
Oh, I have heard of him.
This guy, Christian Cantamesa wrote it. He was the lead designer of video games Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and Red Dead Redemption, which was the best game ever, in my opinion. So the story is set in an underground cryogenic facility after nuclear fallout renders the atmosphere unbreathable. Reedus and Jimon Honsu are two custodial workers who take care of the cryogenically sleeping personnel that are to reestablish society, but they struggle to preserve their own sanity and lives while maintaining the extremely fragile environment of the last livable place on Earth.
He really likes the theme.
Sounds kind of depressing, but I'll watch that. I want to see Norman Reedus play somebody else besides Daryl and see if he still acts like Daryl. Okay, next, AMC responded to Frank Darabont's lawsuit saying, "You're right, sorry.
We're wrong. Here's some money."
No,
that did not happen.
So Darabont wants tens of millions of dollars from them, and they say, quote, "Defendants deny that the plaintiffs are entitled to any relief, whether monetary, compensatory, declarative, equitable, cost and or fees relating to this matter or in any other form sought by plaintiffs. We look forward to demonstrating through the legal process that this is a baseless lawsuit built on claims that have no merit."
That doesn't sound friendly.
It's pretty much a no, negative. Mm-hmm. So just to update you on that. Next, there was a story. I just like the headline. It is, "Snooki is a Walking Dead fan. Robert Kirkman rejoices."
So there's going to be a crossover vampire zombie kind of like spin-off or something.
Vampire
zombie thing.
Snooki,
not Snooki. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so it'll be
Jersey Shore.
Yeah, so it'll be a
Zombies.
crossover zombie Guido thing. No, that's not crossover. Whoa.
Yeah, I think everyone hopes the zombies will attack the Jersey Shore cast. Next is interview with Michael Cudlitz, who plays Abraham. picked a few questions. This is on amctv.com. They say, you play a tough guy determined to see his mission through on The Walking Dead. Are you like that at all in real life? He said, my wife would tell you no. They say, you played a police officer in Southland, which was a TV show. Why do you think you draw these military roles? He says, I don't know. I think there's an element of physicality about how I am, but there's a blue-collar accessibility to me, and that's just who I am. I'm not the best-looking guy in the room, and I think that makes me more accessible to everyday guys out there. It's not like some pretty boy telling you how things are. Yeah, I can see that. They say, what kind of background research did you do on the role? He says, I really got up to date on the comic more than anything. Anything with weapons training. I've been very fortunate to be involved with a lot of projects that had the use of weapons, from Band of Brothers to Southland to The Negotiator. I didn't see any of those. Just a lot of military roles, and that's kind of where Abraham's coming from. He's not active in the military anymore, but this is residual stuff that he carries with him, and you kind of feel like he's still in the military. Yeah, no one's active in the military as far as we know. Finally, they say, do you have any skills that would be similarly applicable in the event of an apocalypse? And he says no.
Okay.
Which I thought was pretty funny. No.
It seems like the weapons training would be pretty good, but
yeah. And
other than that.
Yeah, you would think so, huh? We had the guy who there's this zombie drama podcast called We're Alive, and it's really popular. And the guy who writes and directs that came on, and he's an ex-military guy. And we were saying, well, we think military people might do a little better in the zombie apocalypse because they have weapons training. And he's like, no, they don't. If you see a gun, it might not be the one you were trained on or something like that. I'm like,
really?
But you'd think that they have a little bit more facility around that kind of thing. He didn't agree, though. And he's the one who's been in the military, not me.
They need ninja training.
I think ninjas.
By the way, Michael Kudlitz has acting skills, and you think that might be handy in the zombie apocalypse?
You could act like a zombie.
Interesting.
No, I mean you have to interact with a lot of different people, and maybe you have to act a certain way.
Right.
If you have acting skills, maybe that would help. I don't know.
Yeah.
Cool. You could act like you weren't scared. I'm not scared. Okay, that's all for the news. We'll take a little break. There's more to come. Stay with us. Okay, we're back in. It's time to talk Fracture. I'm very proud to be sponsored again this week by Fracture. And just to remind you, with Fracture, you can have your pictures printed directly on glass and ready for mounting. If you want to check them out, go to fractureme.com and enter Deadcast for a 15% discount. And that's available for a limited time only, by the way. So,
sweet.
A couple of listeners wrote in about getting their Fractures. They haven't gotten them delivered yet, but Rhett Hutchinson got some for his family. Gracie Lou did get hers, actually.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, she said it looked great.
Awesome.
I saw a picture. It had her kids and some of their cousins in it. And she said her mother-in-law loved it. And Matthew Frere ordered one for his wife for their 10-year anniversary. And here he sent the picture.
Oh my God. Matthew, your family
It's
is
Matthew's
beautiful.
wife and their little baby.
They're so cute.
So I think, she's really going to like that.
Aww. Can I use them?
Can
we borrow that
in your house?
my step
He
family.
sent it to me. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
So these things are like works of art, and they just take something personal that you captured and showcase it in a really attractive way. So I got our Fracture order right here. It's all packaged up and not opened yet. And I'm going to open it right now.
Maybe we should have opened it before.
Feel the package. It's like really solid, like a brick here. Okay.
Oh, I'm so excited. So this is a picture that I took, or David took. I can't remember who took it. Of grapevines in Israel.
Yeah, let me see that again.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's a photogenic country, let me tell you.
So here's your, what do you think?
Looks nice. Yeah, it looks nice. The colors are great. And the glass surface is like, it's glossier than any poster you could get or any picture you could get.
Wow, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks really good.
It really does.
Okay. This
I love
one
it.
is of Nico.
It's Captain Nico.
Yeah, captaining a boat. My mom wanted me to get that one.
God, it's so
We paid
cute.
for all these, by the way. Fracture didn't give these to us. I just wanted to get them because I like it so much. And this is our podcast art. Walking Dead cast. It's a little square.
nice.
Isn't that
Yeah.
cool?
That's so cool.
So I'll put that up on the wall somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, I
or hang it on
love
the
it.
door.
Outside. Zombies welcome.
Well, so I've again I've done some photography.
Yeah.
And I've printed on some interesting surfaces.
You have?
The canvas prints are pretty cool. I recommend those if anyone wants to print them. But these glass ones, again, these are glossier than any film or
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
any paper that you can get.
It's just kind of unique too. Not
Yeah.
a lot of people have this stuff.
Sweet.
So,
Don't drop it.
process is simple. You upload your photo, place your order. In a few days, you'll have one of these. It comes in this custom, environmentally friendly packaging, and it's ready to be mounted on your wall. They make these by hand in Gainesville, Florida, and they always have a real person check each order for quality. And every fracture comes with a happiness guarantee. I'm not sure what that means. I guess it means if you're not happy, you can break it. No, you can probably get your money back, and a lifetime warranty. And if you go to fractureme.com and enter Deadcast, you get 15% off. And thank you to Fracture for your support. We appreciate it.
So, do they use zombies as labor? Are zombies involved in any way?
If you get one that's really fucked up, then it's probably a zombie.
That's
Had
true.
something to
Yeah,
do with it.
that's about right.
Like a bite out of the corner.
Right.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay, I'll go first. Robert Abe wrote, "Hey guys, just wanted to point out something that you may have missed. I did too, but my wife noticed. The guy who gets bit along the railroad tracks and tells them to walk to the safe place, that guy becomes a walker. And earlier in the episode, they time shifted events in this episode. He surprises Beth in the woods and almost bites her dead until Daryl intervenes." Nice. Tell your
catch,
wife that that was a great catch. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't notice
no,
that.
No, I didn't
So,
notice
A
it
couple
either.
people wrote in about that.
Well done.
So we can call this the zombie spotting segment.
Yeah. Well done, Michael's
Where's
wife.
Waldo zombie? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so this one comes from Michael Ring. So he says, in the episode Inmates, you were talking about how Psycho Lizzie has become, all capitalized, okay, almost smothering Judith, zoning out till Carol come around. But you missed the bunnies. Bunnies.
Yeah.
I saw the bunnies. When they're sitting around before Tyrese hears a yell, it shows two baby bunnies in the log. Lizzie is sitting on/next to. She pulls out her knife. Camera pans up and she starts playing with the knife and it appears to kill the bunnies. When Daryl and Beth pass this area, you see two dead bunnies. Evidence that it was probably Lizzie killing the cats at the prison and that she's definitely a, quote, Norman Bates in the making. Check it out. Let's hear what you think. So I did notice those bunnies, actually.
I did too.
I didn't.
Really?
We didn't talk about
they were
it
I think
either.
we mentioned.
They were
didn't we say
conspicuously in the
something?
log in the foreground, sticking out.
Yeah.
And
And they were
bloody.
really cute.
Yeah. And when they were dead, they were very bloody.
Did they show him dead? I thought they
Yeah.
only showed him alive.
Oh, I thought they saw them.
They're
Sort of like the
saying
after the
here
fact
when
ones.
Daryl came, they were dead bunnies,
Yeah.
all bloodied up.
Yeah. So again, there was a lot of really good foreshadowing, and they did a lot of
I
time
like
shifting
that,
in that
yeah, when
episode.
they
Yeah. So you
have
got to sort of see
time shifting.
You got to see sort of like the aftermath before it happened. So, but anyway, yeah. So good call there,
It
Michael.
was upsetting.
Yeah.
Jaden Walker, remember Jaden? He says Lizzie isn't going to kill and dissect Mika. She's going to kill and dissect Judith. It'll get her to stop crying and she'll still be alive in Lizzie's eyes. That is not a very lighthearted thing to say.
Jaden, I hope you're wrong. But thanks for writing.
I told him if that happened, we would give him a shout out, but I hope he's wrong too.
Yeah. This one comes from Eric Sherman, who writes, "One, sanctuary for all, community for all. Those who arrive survive. Please let the Y2K fearing doomsayers era Busta Rhymes run this sanctuary. Remember when he put out albums like Anarchy, Extinction Level Event, and When Disaster Strikes? Dude is perfect for a zombie show. He is dangerous." Wow, I didn't know that.
Right. Buster Rhymes.
All right. Yeah. Number 2, Tyrese's hammer. It's a claw hammer, not a ball peen hammer. Oh, thank you for that distinction. The important feature for construction is that it can pry nails out of forms, concrete, 2x4s, whatever. In the zombie apocalypse, it's an important feature in that it can bludgeon on the blunt side as well as puncture the hollow, rotten domes of the undead on the claw side. Ball-peen hammers are more for working with metals, working out dents, or adding them effective small bludgeoning tools. Not so great for critical hits to the cranium. Huh. And number 3, Glenn mysteriously off the bus. He told Tara that he got off the bus to search for Maggie. No mystery. Easy to miss because the focal point at that portion of the episode was the action and the statement was brief. Yeah, that's true.
I didn't hear that. Yeah. So thanks for pointing that out.
4, my question for y'all. So, Snowmageddon. Like in Chicago the past few weeks, it's bitter cold, minus 20 degrees. Would the zombies freeze through the cold snap, or does something about their undead biochemistry make them impervious to the cold? I'm going to go ahead and say they're going to freeze like zombie popsicles. Zomsicles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm going to say they're going to freeze just like anybody would. I don't think they have antifreeze now.
In World War Z, they all go north because the zombies are either really slow or frozen.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, good call. Okay, so this is from Billy Abdi. He says, I never hear the word, quote, Zeds before I listen to your show. It's really cool. It's like you guys and the zombies are just so right. Oh, excuse me, so tight. You have cool nicknames for each other. I wonder what they'd call you.
Lunch.
Snack.
I'd be lunch, he'd be dinner.
Snack. Dessert. Yeah, I don't know.
They would call us.
They'd call us for dinner.
My turn. This is Maureen Favo. Found this history from Georgia was outlined in International Business Times last week. Did you know that Atlanta used to be called Terminus? In 1837, the area in downtown Atlanta called Five Points was the location of a railroad terminus connecting Georgia with Chattanooga, Tennessee. The location was called Terminus until being renamed Marthasville in 1843 after Governor Wilson Lumpkin's daughter, Martha.
Wow.
I wish it was called Martha instead on the show. Go to Martha.
All right.
That's interesting because it makes sense with the railroad thing, and they're in Atlanta.
Okay.
Thank you, Maureen.
All right. Good
Lovely.
call.
Yeah.
Missy Kerrigan writes, guys, Michael Cudlitz is the bomb. He was on one of my all-time favorite shows, Southland, for 5 seasons, playing a gritty, troubled LA cop. Proof that great writing and acting don't necessarily translate into great ratings. Southland was canceled by TNT last year. So glad to see Mr. Cudlitz turn up on The Walking Dead. He's super talented and will no doubt prove himself to be a valuable player in the series. He would be a great interview for the podcast, and I don't know if episodes of Southland are online, but if they are, I would encourage everyone to give it a watch. You will not be disappointed. Would be very surprised if last night was the last one we saw of Jeff Kuber.
He's the actor that Rick played, the guy Rick almost shot on the porch.
Right, who was drinking from a can. Yeah. Why hire such a recognizable actor for a one-off role? Good point. We're probably going to see him again.
Yep.
I hope not, though.
Okay.
Because he seems mean.
We want only
rapey.
nice people on the show.
Right.
More reactions to this week's episode. So now we go around the table with these. So Owen Robertson says Terminus is the Roman god for boundaries. So hopefully the sanctuary's boundary is better than a chain link fence, like the prison.
Oh, well, yeah. So Terminus has all kinds of great meanings, but we've been.
I always think terminal disease.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the termination. They're getting terminated.
Of your life.
Terminated by the Terminator at Terminus. Okay, Pedro Rivera says in last week's episode, why were those zombies on the bus so dirty and some even rotten looking? They only been dead for a few hours.
That's true. And I heard on Watching Dead, they were Aaron was saying when all the people who went on the bus, I think were the ones who had been too old or helpless to fight. And then the zombies that they showed on this bus, there were some big burly ones.
You know, that's a really good point. But the doors were closed, so they were clearly. No,
I'm saying the zombies that were on the bus were not old,
right?
But they were supposed to be, and they were.
It was like a continuity error, basically.
That's right.
Yeah.
They could have snuck in.
They could have, yeah. All the old people ran away, and the zombies were like, let's get on the bus.
Their elbow ran into the door and closed it.
And closed it as they were leaving and trapping the fat zombies on.
Yeah.
You're right. That's probably it.
Okay. So Brian Lee says, Eugene is trouble. I don't think he's smarter than anyone. Well, he hasn't actually said
We don't know.
We haven't
We don't
actually
know.
said anything that would prove or disprove this yet.
No.
But he's allegedly smart.
It's interesting to have someone talking about the cause because they don't talk about that much. Last time was TS19, I think.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool, go to Washington and see if they can figure it out. Jennifer Hollander says, why on earth would Rick crawl out on the side where the guy's foot was hanging off? I was kind of wondering.
No,
that
he didn't
myself.
see it.
He didn't see his foot?
He didn't see his foot until he ran into it. I think it was that was what I took from that. Is like he was trying to crawl and then, oh damn, I just ran this guy's foot.
Oh, okay.
But or he's dumb. Okay, I don't know.
Corey Metcalf gave us a haiku, which is as follows. Eugene knows beginning, a very smart scientist, but keeps his mouth shut.
Question mark.
Exclamation point. I like it.
All right.
Thanks, Corey.
All right. So Nigel Jones says, what the hell with the bedroom scene? You kill one of your companions for his bed, lay down, take a nap, haven't even shot him in the head, and nobody has the brains to think you may come back.
But he wasn't dead, right? That's what
Presumably.
we think.
Yeah, we think it was the guy in the
choked
bathroom
out.
that died.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it seems like, you're trying to survive the zombie apocalypse. It seems just needless to kill this guy over bed, even if you are a psychopath. I don't know.
I was kind of
But,
wondering. But choking him out isn't that much. It's better, but they're just bad dudes.
Okay.
Kenneth Rosendo says, Karen, what did you think of Michael Cudlett's Abraham on The Talking Dead? He was very methodical and proved he did great research. I thought he was great.
Yeah, he came off as really smart, too.
Okay.
They had Mindy Kaling, I think her name is, from the Mindy Project,
Right,
too.
yeah.
But Michael was
The Office.
definitely the superstar sitting on the couch
Good.
because, that guy has presence. And he came off as really, really smart, well-spoken, funny. I mean, he was
Nice.
great.
I'm going to be interviewing him at Walker Stalker Con in a couple of weeks in Chicago, but we should
great.
try to get him on the podcast.
Yeah, we should. Drea Age says, Jason, you're right. You pronounce my last name the same way you might ask somebody how old they are back in the 50s. What's your age? Or if it's easier, it also rhymes with Page. Or maybe even think of Nick Cage. I love Nick Cage. Sometimes.
Let's just think of Nick
Let's
Cage.
just keep thinking of Nick Cage. I was just watching Raising Arizona. Hilarious.
That's such a good movie.
yeah.
It really is.
All right.
Should try Face Off. No, just kidding.
All right. So I'm going to mess up the name. So my apologies in advance. So Rémi Levictoire.
That's pretty close. Yeah.
All right. I'm all like French or something. Okay. So we get, quote, it's classified and then really.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
right. That was pretty lame.
I'm with you, Remy.
That was like, you could come up with, you could at least make some stupid thing up rather than
Right.
it's classified.
It's classified.
He should
How
have
about,
just said.
Really?
how about this gun gives me clearance, babe?
Yeah, exactly.
Or how about meteors? You could have just said that.
Yeah, meteors.
Meteors?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dominic Muzio says, when Rick kills that guy in the bathroom, can someone explain why the guy was sitting on the toilet with his pants on but his shoes and socks off? Am I missing something or have I been pooping wrong my whole life?
You're doing it wrong.
You're doing it
No,
wrong,
you're
man.
doing-
What do? Take your pants off?
Dominic,
Weirdo.
you're doing a fine job. Keep it up, big guy. David Sally writes, I also noted that the toilet seat was down. Maybe he was going to have some alone time.
Well, as far as I know, you still need your pants off for that.
You just need your shoes off.
Turns out you're wrong.
What?
Oh, I've been doing it
I've been
wrong.
doing that?
Yeah, no, you've been doing that wrong too.
I got it all confused.
Okay, so Marcy Brinker says, I'll give it 4.5 white Oxford shirts. So I think that's a pretty good
That's
rating
awesome.
system, right?
That really is.
So that gets liked it a lot.
Clean shirts,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Love the Carl and Michonne scenes. Those two are great together. I'm so glad Michonne is finally getting to show some different sides of her personality. It always seems like, when these people are interacting, like maybe it's just me projecting something, but it seems like there's going to be some like weird inappropriate relationship showing up. Mm-hmm. Like they're just going to pull that out somehow.
Among not just any of the various characters.
Yeah. So for example, when Beth was taking care of Judith, like was there going to be something weird with Rick and Beth or something? And now I'm
You were going
wondering.
to say Beth and Judith for a second.
No, not that much of a
would be
sicko.
very,
but now
very
I'm kind of
inappropriate.
wondering, is there going to be something going on with Carl and Michonne? Because he's like, oh yeah, you're like a cop, or
No,
that's just
I
you,
think they're
Doug.
That's me?
friends. Yeah, I think
Well,
do.
okay, so
It's interesting
It
that-
seemed like there was something funny there going on.
that's what I just
They're
think it was a bad
friends.
director.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Never mind.
Okay, I don't know.
Don't listen to me.
I don't think they were getting at that,
Okay.
but I wonder about Beth and Carl, so maybe I'm the sicko. Heidi Loftus says, I know it's Georgia, but a scientist with a mullet, not buying it.
I'm telling you, it's hard to cut the hair in the back of your head.
He needs a friend.
Yeah, exactly. Charla Masters says that was one pink bedroom. It was. I noticed that too. I'm like, wow, that's a pink bedroom
Super creepy.
with, dead people in it. But aside from the dead people, really, really pink.
Cute. Really cute.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. So Michael Costa says, is it me or does the Abraham / Rosita / Eugene crew feel really forced? To me, it's like they're trying hard to mimic the look of the source material that they feel like caricatures, like a Halloween costume or something you'd see at a cosplay or a convention or cosplay at a convention.
Yes.
Well, you know what? I predict there are going to be people walking around in those outfits for Comic-Con. That's my prediction.
I predict that you're right, Michael. In your opinion. Robin Young Sanders says, question, is it possible that the intruders that Rick encountered in tonight's episode are part of what's left over of the group that Randall had belonged to in season 2? I'm not sure what the payoff would be with that, but it might be a nice little twist. I'm guessing no, but it because there's no reason to do that.
I'm going to say you're right, Robin.
Doug, can you settle this?
You're both right. No, I don't know.
Some of them knew Randall and the other ones didn't.
Jeff writes, I want Tara to turn straight. That is, to hook up with Glenn. Maybe after Glenn gives up hope finding Maggie.
Like that.
Could happen. Okay, so Des Combs says Eugene's gonna save humanity. I had got a cold. I don't know what I was doing there.
Rick Aguirre says
Aguirre?
you can't believe a man with a mullet. Oh, but if any of you guys have mullets out there, I'm really sorry, and especially you scientists with mullets. No offense intended. I had a mullet for several years back in the '80s. Let's move on.
Hot.
Let's move on to calls. This is Ethan from Maryland.
Jason. Hey, Karen. It's Ethan in Silver Spring, Maryland. Longtime Brains, first time Brains. I've been watching with y'all since season 2, when my wife stopped watching because apparently when you have a baby, shows where children die are stressful or something. So I listen to y'all while I'm walking the dog, which is what I'm doing right now. Solid episode, I thought. I'd rate it a whole mess of brains. It left me wanting to watch another immediately, although I guess the best would be if I felt completely satisfied after watching the episode. Liking Tara's new role, liking the new characters. I wish more characters would find each other. Every episode, it would be nice if at least 2 groups, joined up. Anyway, thanks for doing the show. Okay, let's see. Here's my zombie sound. Excuse me. Brains.
Thanks for calling. I've never been to Maryland. I'd like
It's
to go
wonderful.
there
I
sometime.
love Maryland.
It is.
My aunt and uncle live there.
I spent a summer there on a farm. I remember
sounds
the
idyllic.
I remember the ticks.
Oh, that doesn't sound so idyllic. Okay, this next call is from Anthony from Chicago.
Hey, Jason and Karen. This is Anthony from Chicago, Illinois. Was wondering, actually, about this transition music that you had in your last episode, your last podcast, right before the Fracture ad. It's like this really cool, 80s retro sort of music. Sounded like it came from The Running Man with that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it was on a game show or whatever. Or, I don't know, just really cool, retro 80s action-esque type movie. And I was wondering if it was if you did that off of GarageBand or if you sampled it from something. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was really cool and hope to hear more from it. But yeah, you guys usually do pretty well with your transitions, but I like that one in particular. So please do more of that stuff. All right. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.
I'm really glad you asked about that because I just, for some reason, felt compelled to go and look up the music at the beginning of Day of the Dead when Nathan Melstead did our intro music, I thought, I think this sounds like the beginning of Day of the Dead, which I really liked a lot when I heard it. And I was all stoked that we had an intro that sounded kind of like the Day of the Dead for 4 years. And then just last week I went and listened to it. And I'm like, it doesn't sound anything like our intro music, but it's kind of cool. And then I stuck it in the interlude.
That's what that is.
It all works in the end.
Yeah. I mean, it turned out pretty good.
So music from the Day of the Dead.
That was music from the Day of the Dead. I don't know who wrote it or where you could find more like it. I didn't listen to the rest of the soundtrack, but it's possible that the other music in the Day of the Dead is similar to that. So check that out, actually, Anthony, and let us know if you are able to find it.
Thanks for calling.
And thanks for calling and asking about that.
Go Chicago.
I'm stoked. All right, 2 more calls. This is Carl from Hawaii.
Hi, this is Carl from Hawaii, and I just wanted to give you guys my theory on something, because in the episode Inmates, we see that Lindsay kills the 3 bunnies, so I think it's obvious that she's the one that was feeding the walkers in episode 2. But I think she also murdered the 2 people, and the reason why she murdered them, had nothing to do with them being sick, but had everything to do with them seeing her and give the walkers the rats. And so she killed them so that they wouldn't rat her out. And then she lied to Carol and said it was because of the fact that they were sick, so that Carol would help her cover it up. So anyways, it's just a crazy theory I had, so I don't know, that I would share it with you guys to see if you guys think it's that theory would be possible or not. Anyways, aloha, and so far there's no walkers here in Hawaii.
Aloha.
So far, there might be. Thank you, Carl. Thanks
what do you think?
That is an interesting theory, Carl, and you might be right. Sure, she might have killed them for other reasons. She
might have just because she could.
And also, we don't know that she killed him. It's still maybe Carol, and it's still maybe because Karen and David were sick. So who knows?
So do we know where the mice came from, or the rodents came from?
Nope, not for sure. But they're severely pointing that Lizzie did it.
Oh, really?
Lizzie did it, not Lizzie.
Oh, really? Wow. Because I always thought it was the governor. Just going there to mess.
Right.
Some other people thought that too.
Yeah, we don't know.
But they found a splayed out rat, I think, inside the prison where he didn't have
a little taxidermied rat art.
You said taxidermy art's never good. What if you found roadkill? Then
yes, that would be great.
I knew you'd love that. See?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's something to think about.
Okay. This next call is our final call. It's from our old friend Timothy Johnson from Louisiana.
Hey, Jason, Karen. Timothy Johnson calling back again. And I just want to say this week's episode was much better than last week's. I give the last week's episode a 6 out of 9. This week's, I want to give it a 9 out of 9 because I loved it. And Rick's storyline was the best of all of them. And then the sign on that train card, ooh, that's where everybody's going to wind up meeting is the sanctuary. And that could be the hunters. Nope. Have to wait to see what happens next. But in the previews, it looks like the next episode is going to be Dale. Dale and Beth. So I cannot wait. Bye.
I cannot wait.
I gotta tell you, there's nothing better than the regional accents of our fine nation. Oh, gosh. Please call in again, Timothy.
Keep calling, yeah.
That is one awesome Louisiana accent.
9 out of 9. Why do you rate the episodes out of 9? I'm curious. Is there some game that, is that a bowling thing? No.
9 out of 9?
Yeah.
Did you say 9 out of 9?
Well, last time, remember, he rated it, I think, 6 out of 9.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Maybe it's like the whole 9 yards kind of thing.
Maybe. I love it.
Whatever it is, keep doing it.
Yeah.
Keep doing it, Timothy.
Yeah.
But I agree. The Rick scenes were awesome. At least we can agree on that much.
Yes.
And thank you so much for calling in.
Thanks,
all you
guys.
Okay, we are going to announce the winner of the Walker Stalker Con Chicago contest. You get a 3-day pass. We told people to tweet why they were excited about it. And I have a little penguin cup here.
Oh, yeah, you sure do.
And there's all the people who entered, and Karen's going to draw a name and tell you guys who won and what you tweeted.
It's an awfully cute penguin cup. The winner.
That's Doug's, by the way.
The winner is Tim Foolery. Timmy Sims.
Yay, Tim Foolery.
Excited for Walker Stalker Con. Walker Stalker, Jason, Karen, to see you, of course.
Oh, well, Karen's not going to be there,
I'm not
so
gonna be there.
let's pick a different name.
I'm going to be at spring training.
Oh, really? That's
yeah. We're going as guest liaisons.
cool. Oh, congratulations, man. I'll be in touch with you to, let you know how you can get those.
Congratulations.
You man.
It's gonna be
That's cool. Where is it?
It's in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Right, Arizona.
Awesome.
Scottsdale, Arizona.
Where it's warm.
I want to go. Okay, let's move on to next week on The Walking Dead.
Okay, next week on The Walking Dead, it is episode number 12, and the title of it is Still. And the description, don't worry, it's not at all descriptive. Faced with the day-to-day survival of life outside shelter, a simple request by someone in the group leads to a bizarre but enlightening mission. Really, they can't get less descriptive than that.
That's like a fortune cookie.
I know.
And a bad fortune cookie.
In
at that.
bed.
In bed.
It's written by Angela Kang. We love Angela Kang. Lots and lots of writer credits, producer credits, including Infected. That was when they were at the prison. When they were sick
Good one,
at the prison.
yeah.
So sorry,
That's
was
the director.
That's the writer credit.
Writer. Oh,
yeah. So that's Angela Kang.
Kang.
She is absolutely associated with The Walking Dead, so real familiar with everything.
Yeah, we
It is-
interviewed her a while back.
Yeah. It's directed by Julius Ramsey. Lots of editing credits for The Walking Dead, but this is his first directing credit at all, it looks like. I think he directed a short, but he hasn't directed before. So I think this is a first-time directing thing, which is a pretty big thing to be directing. And lots of other editing credits, including Flash Forward and Battlestar Galactica. So
Nice.
looks like he's been around, yeah. And I saw two next week on The Walking Dead. Both of them featured Beth and Daryl being resourceful. Beth making a fire and setting a hubcap warning. Daryl hunting squirrels, but actually only getting a rattlesnake. And then
You can
hiding
eat that.
Would you?
Yeah, snake. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can eat snake.
Yeah, I've done
If
it.
you're, if
done
you're
it? You've eaten
desperate.
snake?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good?
I did too. I didn't like it.
Barbecue?
It's kind of like a cross between chicken and
Spongy.
fish.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. I'll eat rattlesnake if I have to.
If you have to, yeah.
I've also had gator.
Look at you. And then there was another one with had Beth and Daryl in a car while the Zeds walked by. But it was just basically Beth and Daryl being resourceful.
You can't really tell what's going on.
You can't really
huh?
tell.
When they show just two people, you can't even count on that they're going to be the only ones in the episode.
Correct.
It could be everyone.
But that's great.
So we'll see.
I don't want to be,
Yeah,
I
you like
being
mystery.
I do.
Okay,
Do like me some mystery.
let's move on to comic talk. So, Mr. Blog and Gracie Lou are going to talk about how the comic is similar to and different from this week's show. I think they might also have some speculation about what's coming up based on the comics. So, if you don't want to hear any comic book spoilers or even potential show spoilers, then you should probably skip it. But don't, because they've been just firing on all cylinders with this stuff.
Yeah, they have.
So, take it away, Mr. Blog and Gracie Lou.
Hey everyone, I'm Mr. Blog.
And I'm Grace, and this is Comic Talk. Today we're going to look at how Claimed compares to the comic.
Yeah, so really what we also need to do is we need to start off with the very end of the last episode, Inmates. We would be remiss if we did not talk about the appearance of Abraham, Eugene, and Rosita in a way that is almost identical to how they were introduced in the comic. Really, the only exception to that is that in the comic they met at Herschel's farm when everybody had already gathered. Instead, we get that just with Glenn and Tara. That's really the only other difference. What did you think of it?
I thought it was great. I love how it looked like they were lifted straight off the cover of issue 53. Their outfits, and Eugene was holding the radio. It was, if you knew who they were, it was just amazing that scene to see the three of them appear.
And it's been a lot of fun hearing the speculation on the people who don't know who they are about whether or not Abraham is the new villain or these guys bad guys, and I get a kick of all that because knowing what fan favorites, specifically Abraham is, it's just so funny to imagine people thinking of him as a villain. I just get a kick out of it. Although even in the comic, there was so much tension with him straight off the bat that it's almost easy to see, like, well, it was even questionable in the book whether or not he was really a good guy or not. I mean, he kind of hated Rick right off the bat. He was punching Andrea in the face. Well, I didn't punch her in the face, but he hit her with the butt of the rifle.
Which is worse.
Which is worse. And he did, what was interesting was what he said to Tara about, boy, you got a mouth on you, you got anything else, was somewhat similar to his reaction to Andrea, calling her Scarface or Little Miss Insult or something. I forget what it was specifically he called her, but that was a perfect sort of match. There was that.
He's a bit abrasive, both in the TV show and the comic, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully we're going to get to that soft, squishy part of Abraham soon enough. But there was one more element from the last episode, Inmates, that we should bring up. What is that point?
I guess second on the list would be Michonne's reunion with Rick and Carl, even though we don't get to see the actual moment in the TV show because it kind of happened between episodes, like we did see in the comic. But it was obvious from that last episode that it was a really joyful reunion for both sides. And now the three of them are together for a bit, just like they were in the comic.
And that was actually always one of my favorite parts of the comic, where she comes in and saves Carl right at the last minute as he's got a zombie coming into the car with him. And she asks Rick something along the lines of, do you mind if I come along? And Rick's response is, you don't even need to ask. And that was really one of those first, in the book, Rick really trusting and caring about Michonne moments. And I loved that. And, of course, establishing more of that relationship with Carl and Michonne. I think Carl jumps on Michonne in the book. And I've always enjoyed that. So, but moving on to this episode, Claimed. The next thing was Michonne discovering that family suicide in the house. Although it wasn't Michonne discovering that in the book, it was in fact Morgan quite a bit later when Rick, Carl, and Morgan are trying to find noisemakers to distract the zombies. He walks in and finds the two kids who had their brains drilled and they were poisoned, in addition to finding the parent. And I think in the comic it was a father and mother who had another murder-suicide thing, but very much similar to what we see Michonne finding.
Yes. I mean, it definitely had the same extremely creepy and unsettling feel to it. And the layout of the family itself was really almost identical, aside from like maybe the number of kids and that there's two parents. But just the whole feel of the scene was just so close to the comic.
And Morgan was visibly shaken, much the way Michonne was visibly shaken by what they're coming
and I
upon.
like that, that both of them were parents who had lost children, so it was very similar feel to it.
Yeah. Well, moving on, the next comparison?
Yeah, and this is probably the biggest and most important similarity in this episode, but finding out that Eugene supposedly knows what caused the outbreak and that he at least was in contact with people in Washington, D.C. It went down much differently in the comic. There, Eugene's group had run into Rick's group at Herschel's farm. And like we talked about earlier, they were met with a fair amount of opposition. And everyone kind of thought Eugene was crazy, but they ended up going along with him. I think mainly, I don't know, because the farm wasn't really safe to stay there. So,
well, they made a whole point about the grabbing a net, and any gunshot is like a net and capturing, and then a whole herd might come. And then all of a sudden they did start getting more and more zombies showing up at the farm. Dale didn't want to leave, but he realized, it's probably a good idea. He makes a good point. And there was a great line in the book from Dale where he says something along the lines of, the worst part about this is if you have a place everybody wants, then people are going to attack you. But if you have a place nobody wants, it's just not safe enough. And so it's a little bit different on the setup. But with Eugene and mentioning that he knows what started the outbreak, he's in contact with DC, that what you just mentioned. I'm curious whether or not the show is going to give us the other really fan favorite moment of Abraham talking about the thing about smart motherfuckers is that they sound like crazy motherfuckers to stupid motherfuckers. And I hope you're not stupid motherfucker. He went on the whole thing, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, we're probably not going to get that in the show. Maybe it'll be Mother Dickers, since we can say dick now. I don't know. But yeah, that was a great comparison. So, I mean, that was, again, lifted straight out of the book. And we'll get a little bit more on that at the end of this little segment. We're going to have slight spoilery things about speculation for what we think it might go, but we're going to save that to the end. So for those who are following the show with the comic, then we don't want to spoil too much, but that'll come there in a second. So the next comparison that we can make would be the Glenn and Abraham fight. It happens under slightly different circumstances in the book. In the book, Maggie hangs herself because she's despondent over losing her entire family. Abraham assumes she's dead, so he's going to go and just shoot her in the head. And Glenn gets really pissed off, saying, no, not yet. He's trying to save her. And he ends up, he does punch Abraham at that point in the book, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they get into a big argument. And it doesn't have the exact same impact that it did in the book, but I'm glad to not have to see Maggie hanging from a tree.
Yeah, and it was a nice nod to the comic there. And lastly, it was a small but fun touch is when we see TV Rick donning his signature jacket from the comic. That was great.
That was fantastic. And what's funny is I was just mentioning to you just a few moments ago, I did not register that right away. And it wasn't until you mentioned to me, I'm like, that's why that jacket looked familiar to me. It really, there's something struck me. I'm like, that looks right. That just looks right. And so that was pretty cool. I think that's about it for all the specifics about what we could compare between the book and Claimed, right?
Yep.
Okay. So let's get into the slightly spoilery things. And this is The Big Lie. And
The Big Lie.
The Big Lie. And I'm getting a kick again out of hearing listener reactions or people who've been watching the show and they don't know the books, really wondering whether or not Eugene knows the cure. Does he really know what's going on? And considering we got all of that in TS19 with the CDC, no,
yes,
he doesn't.
I'm surprised. I mean, I do see some like don't trust anyone with a mullet, but then I do see people, wanting to trust him, which surprises me because we had the answers we thought, way back in season 1 with the CDC.
Yeah.
So Eugene is lying. And when will that come out?
Yeah.
I am thinking before they even leave Georgia. I think it will be a little bit
I think it's going to
different.
happen. I think it'll happen relatively quickly that's going to come out. And I cannot wait to see Abraham's rage at all of that and how that's going to go down when people realize, no, he's been bullshitting you this whole time. And I'm really looking forward to him explaining the mullet. That's always been one of my favorite moments is that he doesn't want people to know how smart he is. So he dons a haircut that people are going to assume he's an idiot.
And also I do want to mention the part of the sooner than later thing is I think he killed the truck on purpose in the show.
Agreed.
So he would not have to go to DC. So that's another reason I think it's going to happen sooner than later.
Agreed. He's trying to stall. Yeah, he's trying to stall, and he wants to go ahead and follow Glenn because, as you just said, that means they don't have to go to DC, and his lie will not be found out quite as quickly.
Yes. Well,
very astute observation.
I'm excited to see this play out.
Well, I think that about wraps it up. We'll see you in a few days when we're back to cover issue number 122 of The Walking Dead with Under the Comic Covers.
See you then.
All right, that's our show, episode 135. Thank you for listening, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
And thanks for hanging in with us, Doug.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, so I'm back. It's been a
didn't hate it too much.
No, it was great. It's been a while. I had a little hiatus there. I might be back more often.
Yeah.
Look at you pronouncing hiatus.
Hiatus. So, and then the other thing I'll mention is there's talk of further podcasting sort of things and such coming up, and I might do some more things involving anime. There apparently some people like whatever bizarre ramblings I did last time, so
yeah,
let me know if any of the listeners think that might sound interesting, and see if I get jazzed up. And then there might be some game reviews, actual board games, right? I'm not going to give nothing away, but it's tangentially related to the zombie podcast. So that might be coming up. So if you guys are into board game reviews, feel free to shout out. And otherwise, yeah, it was good to be back, and hope I'm looking forward to all the great episodes this season.
Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to mention really quick that our friend Marcy Brinker, who's in the chat room right now, she's a designer, and she did this card deck. It's mythical cards. It's like from Egyptian. I think the spades are Egyptian. The hearts are Greek or something. You know, there's Norse, I think, Odin and all that.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
Yeah, I just thought it was really cool. She kickstarted it, and she sent us both a copy. So here's yours.
Oh, thank you, Marcy.
And they look like
gorgeous.
legit cards, like they're actual bicycle brand.
So yeah, and I just love supporting creativity like that. So
like these ain't even never been opened.
Yeah, that's Karen's.
That's mine. Get your paws off that. Thanks,
So
Marcy.
it's super cool. You can get these at collectibleplayingcards.com, and I'm going to put a link to that. And also, she did up a page that has background info on all the different gods featured on the design. So I'll link to that too.
So
Look in our
cool.
blog post for that.
Thanks,
for this
baby.
episode. Meantime, if you'd like to call us, you can call us at 650-485-DEAD. That's 650-485-3323, or you can click that send voicemail button on our website.
You can write to us at brains@walkingdeadcast.com.
You can check out our website with lots of Walking Dead news and info at walkingdeadcast.com. And don't forget to click through our Amazon link on there whenever you shop at Amazon.
We're also on Twitter at Jason and Karen, on Tumblr at walkingdeadcast.tumblr.com, and on Facebook at facebook.com/deadcast.
And go to fractureme.com and enter promo code DEADCAST for 15% off of a Fracture. Thanks for your support, Fracture.
Thanks for the beautiful picture, Fracture.
All right, that's our show.
Thanks for listening.
Don't get bit,
Evan Shapiro.
Business in the front, party in the rear.
Wow.
The town of Milton may seem normal at first glance, but the shadows are cursed and the expansive woods surrounding town are forbidden. They call it the Void, and nobody comes back alive.
You're headed straight for the Void!
Milton lives suspended in time, trapped by a darkness that seems to be creeping closer and closer.
It's safe. The Void is kept at bay.
Is it though? Join three friends as they embark on an epic journey into the heart of darkness. The Void, wherever you